Right, it's time for another test ride on this, and obviously I've just ridden it here from base, and it would appear that I have heard traces of that noise still on the bike, but I've tightened up the primary chain, changed the front wheel bearings, and obviously I've backed off the pressure plate screws on the clutch as well, so it's going to be worth a test ride anyway. But I'm getting more and more convinced that the sound I've been hearing is coming from something on the bike rather than anything to do with the engine. But let's go and have a ride. Looks like we're going to get stuck behind all sorts of slow moving traffic here actually, unfortunately. But I've got a plan that we'll go up the road and turn back to Porthyrhyd and Siloh and come down to Llandovery. I might just get going in time to catch up with him and get him. Let's see. Pretty sure it's on the bike and not in the engine, whatever it is. hell of a lot nicer. And it's not slipping, or doesn't appear to be. The engine, we were getting it then. All those ripples in the road. The noise has become more of an irritation than a worry, because it's been doing it all along, and I've tried all sorts of things, and each and every time I thought, this will be it, now it'll stop doing it. And every time I've come back to it and it's still made the noise, but it's definitely something to do with vibration and bike itself rather than the engine. But as for what it might be, maybe I should offer a prize to anybody who can spot what it is before I get to it. I'm still at a loss to what it is at this moment in time. Definitely no clutch slip anyway. And the clutch feels nice now. Once had a Norton 650 SS that belonged to my father pack up at the bottom of this hill due to it having a tired magneto. Silly me, I was being a naughty boy, I was only about 14 or 15, riding it with a girl on the back who I was trying to impress. And when we spluttered and popped to the bottom of this hill, in my infinite wisdom, I decided we'd push it back to the top and bump start it. It must get started by the time it got to the bottom of the hill. And of course it didn't. And we ended up leaving it at the farm down here, just to our left on this corner. And a week or so later, my father brought me back down to get it. And of course it made it home. And only started misfiring as we got near home because obviously the magneto had about 7 useful miles in it. But I always remember pushing that Norton 650 up that hill. cut out Llandovery, take a right turn here. That way we can bypass Llandovery, pick up the A40 and head for home. Back to the drawing board, looking for whatever it is that's causing this noise. Although, like I say, I don't think it's anything to have to be worried about anymore. It's just an annoyance or an irritation, and I'd love to find out what it is. Well, here we are. Let's see what we've got anyway. Obviously we haven't got rid of that noise, which is a bit disappointing, but as I've gone through all sorts of aspects of this bike, trying to hunt it down and deal with it, I've become more and more confident that it's not anything that's going to do any harm physically, and I'm pretty sure that it's nothing directly to do with the engine making noises internally. We've still got a little bit of a weep at the rocker box. It's a hell of a lot better than it was though. As far as this noise goes, it's sort of doing my head in a bit. I need to sort of find out what it is, just for my own benefit if nothing else. It's a noise you can almost, not quite, but you can almost sort of feel it, and it definitely sort of seems to happen occasionally when we hit bumps and ripples in the road. So the jury's still out, but like I say, I'm pretty certain that it's nothing directly related to the engine. So onward and upward. The brakes are excellent. I'm a lot happier now. I know that there's brand new front wheel bearings in that wheel, and the brakes are clean, brakes are working well. The clutch is a lot lighter now than it was, and it's not slipping, so we made some worthwhile progress anyway. But I'm going to head for home and carry on scratching my head about that noise, I suppose.